What's going on, guys? It's Noah and I am just checking in. For the relevance of this video, all you need to know is that I am a survivor of major depression, anxiety, depersonalization, and I'm still recovering and reaching towards full remission. I have been in this journey of mood disorder, well, in the midst of a mood disorder since May of 2011 when I had a mental breakdown. My information is down below if you want to read a little bit about my story. It edifies me a little bit, and it might make you believe that I might know a little bit what I'm talking about. I'm just one person, but I just want to share that first. In this video, what I wanted to talk about and the people I wanted to address are the people that are suffering beyond what's reasonable. And I don't know if there is such thing as reasonable suffering, but I think human experience can be painful and it can be trying and difficult, and there is suffering in life. And then there are people that have the great misfortune of dealing with mood disorders and in the form of major depression, anxiety, depersonalization, derealization, hormone imbalances such as low testosterone, and women, of course, have a lot of that too. That's the whole reason postpartum depression, for example, exists, is because there's imbalances in the brain. For those unfortunate souls, like those of you that may be suffering, and myself, there's this thing that happens when you are in the midst of depression, anxiety, depersonalization, and also when you're trying to recover from it. And it is basically, I'm going to call it catastrophic thinking. And I have partaken in catastrophic thinking hundreds and probably thousands of times. And the reason it's dangerous to have catastrophic thinking is because it can turn see if I can word this right, because I always want to be sensitive to those that are in a bad place right this minute. I'm blessed enough to say that right now, after a year and 8 months, 10 months, I'm crawling out of it and so much more stable than I was, that I can reflect back, and that's a blessing. But when you're in that place, and you're having a particularly hard day, and God forbid, but it's very frequent as it was for me, you're suicidal. Catastrophic thinking, or catastrophizing, which basically means you take one situation that you're in, like take a moment in time, and you magnify it, amplify it, and you apply it to the future, and you put an indefinite time frame on that issue. So if you're having a day where your anxiety is just so much worse than most days, or if you're in the throes of a serious episode, it's just as bad as every damn day's been for the last X number of days, catastrophizing that would be to say, it hurts right now, I'm uncomfortable, I'm scared, I'm in pain, I'm miserable, and I'm never going to feel better again. And I will always be this way. I'm never going to get out of this. I may as well. Not to be drastic, but this is something I've done so many times it just hurts to even talk about it. Just talking about it puts a bit of a knot in my chest, which is a way that the physical symptoms of my anxiety manifest themselves. I have a lot of breathing things, like I'll feel shortness of breath. Now, catastrophizing, it takes me out of this moment. It takes me out of the here and now of what I need to do to focus to get through this newfound tightness I just feel right now in my chest, which is just breathe, stay calm, and stay here. When we're going through major depression, anxiety, depersonalization, reasoning, it's tough to do it. It's really hard to remain calm. It's really hard to be practical, logical, because you're in so much pain that you can't see through that pain, and you just want it to stop. And when you get even the inkling that it won't, you start thinking that it's going to hurt forever. And it's that sort of thinking that it takes what sometimes could be a mild or moderate moment of anxiety, depression, depersonalization, and it can turn it into something more severe and more dangerous. And so one thing I want you to try and remember is that, one, if you're in major depression, anxiety, depersonalization, if you suffer from hormone imbalances, you are in an unfortunately huge group of people that have been there and or are there and are going through it as well. And you have to remember, tying into this first thing, is that there are hundreds of thousands of people that have made it to the other side, and you need to let that comfort you. It's hard to feel any comfort if you're even able to. I certainly wasn't for many months, over a year, but it did ring true to me that once I finally met someone that I believe knew suffering like I knew suffering, that knew darkness like I had the misfortune of knowing, it was I almost couldn't outsmart that fact. So I want you to remember, whatever you're going through right now, others have gone through it as well, and people have lived to tell the tale. And for now, because I never take it for granted, and I know it could slip away, I'm one of those people. So I'm here. So if you're suffering, I'm living proof that you can get through it. And if you do read my little dealy bop, you will come across the fact that I've been hospitalized during my major depressive episode for being so suicidal that I couldn't be trusted alone at all, period. So I know dark places. The point is, you're going to have hard moments when you're recovering from major depression and anxiety, and as I keep saying, depersonalization, low testosterone, for example, for hormones, stuff like that. You're going to have very low moments, and they're going to be moments that are going to make you question everything. And you're even going to have stretches that are good or better, that it might cross your mind that, am I doing better? And then you're going to have a hard day, and you're going to have the opportunity to catastrophize that hard day and make it negate whatever improvements you may have made, or allow it to dictate what you certainly somehow know is your whole future. I'm going to end it with this because I'm babbling, and I just want you to know this has been on my heart. And I should have made this video a long time ago because I'm speaking to myself. I just happen to be in the future. So I wish I could put this back for me to watch when I was really in the throes of it. When I was so desperate, I spent every waking moment just surviving. Your job, if you're suffering, is to get through the moment you're in and let it stay right there. Don't think about the future, and if you can, now this is hard, don't go back to the past and relive that misery that you may have gone through. Your job is to stay right here, right now, and focus on, if you can't handle a day, you focus on an hour, and if you can't handle an hour, you focus on a minute, and you get through that moment. You don't overthink it. You don't make any assumptions of it. You just get through it. When you have had time for it to clear, and maybe it lasts a few days, and maybe if you're in it bad, it's going to last longer, but it will clear. You start basing your thinking off of that clarity. It's just a symptom of your condition otherwise. And if you take it to the ultimate point, like if you take it to that catastrophic place, it can lead to horribly unfortunate things such as suicide, which was something that was on my mind 24/7 for months and months and months and months and months, and crept into a year. And I was wrong. And I'm sorry that this ran long. If you're still hanging in here with me, there's probably a good reason, and I'm sorry for whatever that reason is. But I was positive before that I wouldn't get better. I didn't think I might not get better. I knew I wasn't going to get better. And all day long, all I would tell people was, I'm in so much pain. I'm never going to get better. This anxiety is too bad. This depersonalization is too bad. My depression is too dark. Something happened to me. I must be brain damaged. I'm going to die. I know it. And everyone would say, no, you're not. And I was so sure. And I'd say, yes, I am. I'm a goner. I'm done for. And that's where I lived. And I was wrong. And I catastrophized my suffering every day, all day, and I was wrong, and it only made things worse. All I do now, and all you need to do, is get through this day. That's it. Get through this day. Don't read into your suffering. It hurts, but it is not who you really are. It is not your future. It's just what you're going through right now. And I know sometimes it can hurt so bad that you can't handle it anymore, but that's not true, because you can barely handle it. I could barely handle it if I had to be honest, and looking back, I clearly survived. I'm still alive. So even though I didn't think I could handle it, I could, because I'm more resilient than I thought, and a lot of you are too. All of you are just as resilient. So, talking about this just gets me worked up, because it hits home. It hits me right in my freaking heart, and it just eats me up thinking about it. So that was a long one, and that was all over the place, but I needed to get off my chest. Works me up talking about it because it's so sensitive to me. So if you are suffering, I hope some of the words I just spoke were able to resonate with you and keep you moving no matter what. Because that's your job. That's all you got to do, is keep going. And you don't overthink anything. You don't catastrophize. You just let it be what it is, as miserable as that is, and you keep going until it repatterns in your mind, and it will. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope it was of some use to you. Feel free to leave me messages and comments. I try to get back to everybody. And yeah, from the bottom of my heart, take good care, guys, okay?